The thing about the periods, I never really thought about it, actually. I just, this was particularly attractive to me, the story. Grant found the book and read it and handed it to me, and he and I had been doing rather cynical movies for quite some time, and we'd been talking about doing something that was a little less cynical because, we're not quite as cynical as the films we tend to make. And Grant read the book and showed it to me, and I thought it reminded me of the kind of films that I grew up loving, like, Guns of Navarone or Kelly's Heroes or, The Great Escape, those kind of films. And it felt like this is the kind of story that we could actually do that with, because it's not an easy thing to go to Fox and to Sony and say, listen, we'd like to do a movie about art, period piece about art. That usually, doesn't sound all that interesting. But this piece sounded interesting, and that's why we did it. I think the most unpleasant part is these guys.
Wouldn't counting the money be very, very difficult?
Counting the money is difficult. Thank you, John. Thank you for that. Thanks for that help. There is, honestly, the difficulties, if you hear anybody who's lucky enough to be in the position I think that all of us are in, if you heard us complaining, I think it would really irritate people. It would irritate me. So there isn't really anything to complain about. I have a pretty good life. Oh, well, we'll see. This is our first city. First screening was today, so we'll see. We hope good things.
Grant and George wrote it so they could speak to this probably better, but it's no secret to any of us that Kate's character is actually based on Rose Valland, and who was an amazing woman who, at great personal risk, cataloged all of those pieces that came through the Jeu de Paume, and which helped the Allies track them down. But she did that at great personal risk. Had the Nazis discovered what she was doing, they would have executed her. So she was a very, very brave woman. She was very unassuming, which was one of the reasons she kind of got away with this. She was right under their noses, but working in secret, and they never suspected her.
Grant and I are actually whistling on that track. We did it at Abbey Road.
The London Philharmonic. I don't think so. But we'll listen again.
There you go. You stole it.
Well, I didn't.
But
That's
the
Wolf, but that's totally.
And now,
different.
what's the?
Here.
He's whistling the wolf. But the three first notes.
You're mixing it up with Peter.
You have to take it up with Alexandra.
Okay, good.
Well, I'll tell you this. We liked the story. We thought it was unusual. As you are, I'm sure, very aware, Hollywood does like a good World War II story. We've been doing them an awful long time. But this seemed like a story I didn't know, and most people, I think, weren't aware of the extent of the art. And I thought it wasn't to make a patriotic film as much as I thought it was to talk about a unique group of people who did something for the first time in the history of war, which is the victor didn't keep the spoils. They gave it back. And I thought that was a rather extraordinary story to tell, and I thought it would be, and I thought it could make an interesting and fun movie if we did it right and we got the right cast, and mostly we got the right cast. So that's all. That's sort of the reason for making it.